Your bedroom can look tidy and still feel like a place where your mind never fully clocks out. There is a sweater over the chair, a basket in the corner, and something on the nightstand that still needs your attention. The room is quiet, but your thoughts are already moving through tomorrow. If you have been thinking about things to remove from your bedroom after 40, some of the most important ones may not seem dramatic. They are ordinary items that bring your attention back to work maintenance and unfinished decisions. In this video, we will walk through 12 things that may be making your bedroom feel less like a place of rest and more like an extension of your to-do list. For many women over 40, the end of the day does not always mean the end of responsibility. You may still be remembering what needs washing, replacing, confirming, or preparing for the morning. When those reminders remain visible in the bedroom, it may be harder to feel finished for the day. This is not about creating a perfect room. It is about removing what keeps asking for your attention so the space can support peace and practical comfort. The first thing to remove is work papers beside the bed. This may be a folder, a laptop bag, reports, receipts forms, or notes for tomorrow. Even a tidy pile can still function as a reminder. When work papers live beside the bedroom becomes part office and part holding zone for tasks that still need something from you. The paper may not be stressful by itself. What matters is what it represents. Do not forget this. You are not finished with that. Tomorrow is already waiting. You may enter the room intending to rest, notice one sheet, and immediately begin planning again. That does not mean the room is badly organized. It means a work queue has been placed inside a rest space. Give those papers one home somewhere else. It could be a folder near your desk, a basket in another room, or a designated place for anything that needs attention tomorrow. The goal is not perfect organization. It is helping the bedroom stop acting like an extension of your workload. Next is the chair that has become its own category of storage. It holds clothes that are not fully dirty, not fully clean, not ready to be put away, and not quite ready for laundry. One piece becomes a pile, and eventually the chair is no longer somewhere to sit. The problem is not only how it looks. The pile also holds unfinished decisions. Will I wear this again? Does it need washing? Should I hang it up? The bedroom feels calmer when it is not repeatedly presenting you with choices you have already postponed. You do not need a complicated system. Clothes can be hung back up, placed in one small rewear basket, or put into laundry. Choose the option that is easiest to repeat, not the one that looks most impressive. A chair can become a chair again, and the room can stop feeling like a place where daily life gets paused halfway. The third thing to remove is extra pillows and blankets you are not truly using. Some add comfort. Others create another routine. They need fluffing, folding, washing, moving before bed, and putting back again in the morning. If a blanket stays at the end of the bed, but nobody reaches for it, it may support an image of the room more than the way you live. If decorative pillows land on the floor every night, they may add more effort than comfort. There is nothing wrong with a beautiful bedroom. The question is whether each layer gives enough comfort or enjoyment to justify its maintenance. After 40, you may be less interested in keeping a room styled for appearances and more interested in making it easy to live in. Your bedroom does not need to prove that everything is beautifully finished. It needs to support rest. Keep what genuinely adds comfort. Let go of what mainly adds another recurring task. The fourth thing to remove is expired or unused beauty products. These gather because the bedroom becomes an overflow space for items that are no longer part of your real routine. Old lotions, makeup. You do not reach for half-used creams and products that no longer suit your needs. The emotional weight may be bigger than the physical clutter. A product can remind you of money spent, a routine you meant to keep, or a version of yourself you thought you should become. But your bedroom does not need to store abandoned expectations. If a product is expired, empty, unused, or no longer right for you, remove it responsibly. Keep the few things that support the routine you actually have now. This is not giving up on self-care. It is making self-care simpler, more honest, and easier to maintain. Number 5 is old chargers and electronics. A charger from a device you no longer own. Earbuds that only work on one side. A cable you cannot identify, an old clock phone or tablet that has been waiting for a decision. Wires tangle surfaces become busier, and drawers fill with mystery items. Because you are not sure what should stay, the entire category gets postponed. Working screens and bright device lights may also make the room feel more active than restful, especially when they keep catching your attention near bedtime. You do not need to remove every useful device. Separate what serves a clear purpose from what is broken, outdated, unidentified, or never touched. Recycle electronics appropriately where services are available. Store necessary charges together and remove the rest from the bedroom. A calmer room usually has fewer wires, fewer unknown objects, and fewer items waiting for a future decision. The sixth thing to remove is forgotten storage under the bed. Underbed storage can be practical. It can also become a place for decisions you do not want to make. Seasonal items you never revisit, old boxes, extra linens, or belongings from another phase of life. The important question is not whether underbed storage is good or bad, it is whether it is intentional. If the items are useful, clearly contained, and easy to access, the system may be working. But if you have forgotten what is there, or keep moving the same boxes from one year to the next, they are probably not helping your room feel simpler. Pull out one container. Ask whether the contents support your current life. Keep what has a clear purpose. Relocate what belongs elsewhere. Let go of what you no longer need. The less the bedroom is used as an archive for postponed decisions, the clearer its purpose becomes. The seventh thing to remove is decorative objects that add maintenance without adding meaning. Bedrooms often collect small decor because we want the room to feel cozy or complete. But trays, figurines, and small objects can eventually become things you lift, dust, move, and put back without really noticing them. There is nothing wrong with beauty. Ask whether the object still gives something back. Does it make the room feel warm? Does it carry a memory you enjoy? Or does it mainly create more upkeep? If an object adds more maintenance than pleasure, it may not belong in a room meant for rest. A calm room does not need every surface filled. One meaningful object can do more than 6 small objects you barely notice. Let the room have a little emptiness. Empty space is not a decorating failure. It can simply be space that no longer asks anything from you. Number 8 is bedding that is uncomfortable, but kept out of guilt. Maybe it was expensive, a gift, or still in good condition, but if the sheets feel rough, the blanket makes you too warm, the duvet is difficult to manage, or the pillow regularly feels uncomfortable, pay attention. There is no single pillow, blanket, or fabric that works for everyone. What matters here is noticing whether your own bedding feels supportive or repeatedly irritates you. Women often tolerate small repeated discomforts because each one seems too minor to address. You adjust the pillow, push away the heavy blanket, and tell yourself the sheets are fine. You do not need an expensive new bedroom set. Identify the specific problem. Maybe one pillow needs replacing. Maybe a heavy decorative cover can be removed. Maybe you already own softer sheets that should be used instead of saved. If guilt is the main reason you keep uncomfortable bedding in regular use, choose what supports the body you have now. The 9th thing to remove is unused exercise equipment. This could be a yoga mat that never gets opened, weights in the corner, resistance bands, a mini stepper, or a larger item that has slowly become part of the furniture. The issue is not exercise. The issue is what the equipment now represents inside the bedroom. If you use it regularly and the bedroom is the only practical place for it, it may belong there. But if it has become permanent scenery, it may act as another reminder of something you believe you should be doing. Instead of feeling encouraging, it can begin to feel like evidence that you are behind. Move it to a place where you are more likely to use it. Store it out of sight, donate it, or sell it if it no longer fits your routine. Removing an unused object is not giving up on movement. It is separating your rest space from a goal that is not being supported by that location. Number 10 is gifts that do not fit your current life. Gifts can be difficult because they carry memory, affection, identity, obligation, or guilt. It may be a decorative item you never liked, a blanket you never use, or something connected to a past season of life. Because it was a gift, you may feel that keeping it is the respectful thing to do. But appreciation for a person does not require permanent storage of every object. If a gift does not suit your space taste or current life, it may not need to remain in your most personal room. You can remember the intention without keeping the item beside you every day. Letting go does not erase gratitude. It means the object has completed its role in your home. Your bedroom should reflect comfort and ease. It does not need to become a museum of everything other people have chosen for you. The 11th thing to remove is laundry baskets that have become permanent residents of the bedroom. One holds dirty clothes. Another holds clean clothes waiting to be folded. A half-finished load comes back and stays for days. Before long, the bedroom becomes a holding area for clothing in every stage of the process. Laundry is ordinary. The problem is not that a basket enters the room. It is when it never seems to leave. A basket of unfinished laundry can keep catching your attention and make the household workday feel open even after you have decided to stop. You do not need a perfect routine. You need a clearer flow. Give the empty basket a home outside the bedroom. Return folded clothes in one trip. If dirty laundry must stay in the room, use one contained hamper instead of several open piles and baskets. Choose a system that is realistic for your home and energy. The less the bedroom acts as a halfway station for household labor, the more clearly it can signal that the day is ending. And finally, number 12, anything that reminds you of tomorrow's responsibilities. This may be a planner left open where you can see it from bed notes about appointments, school forms, bills, a bag packed for morning, a list of errands, or a work laptop waiting on the dresser. These things may be useful, but useful items can still be placed where they keep tomorrow too visible. There is a difference between being prepared and being surrounded by prompts. When several reminders sit inside the bedroom, you may find yourself planning checking or mentally rehearsing the next day when you intended to rest. Writing tomorrow's tasks down may help you stop rehearsing them, especially when you close the list and put it out of sight afterward. You are not trying to forget your responsibilities. You are creating a boundary around when you will deal with them. Prepare what genuinely needs preparing. Then move the reminder to the hallway kitchen office or another designated place. Close the planner. Put the work bag by the door. Tomorrow still exists. It just does not need to sleep beside you. If your bedroom has been feeling heavier than it should, the reason may not be obvious mess. It may be the number of small reminders, unfinished decisions, and maintenance tasks still visible at the end of the day. A calmer life after 40 is not created by doing everything perfectly. It can begin by making the spaces around you ask for less attention. You do not have to remove all 12 things at once. Start with the chair. Move the papers beside the bed. Empty one drawer of old chargers. Take one basket out of the room. Replace one uncomfortable pillow when practical. Clear one surface and leave part of it empty. The room may still be ordinary. There may still be laundry elsewhere. Tomorrow will still have appointments, errands, and responsibilities, but your bedroom does not have to display all of them at once. Rest may feel easier when the room stops asking you to keep deciding, remembering, and maintaining. If this video spoke to you, watch 15 things to remove for a calmer home after 40 next. That video takes the same gentle idea beyond the bedroom and looks at other things that may be adding unnecessary work and weight to your home. You can also find more practical videos in the Calm Home Habits for Women Over 40 playlist. You do not need a perfect bedroom to rest tonight. You may simply need fewer things in it that keep your mind on duty.